Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is PLD Disc Golf and I'm coming at you with coverage of Greater Peoria Tours stop number 2, Mayhem at McNasty. And once again, I'm not alone. I've got a local favorite back here with us, Ben Wyckoff.
Hey, can't get rid of me that easy.
No, hey, we're out here enjoying ourselves in the middle of April out at McNaughton Park in Pekin, Illinois. Today, actually this round, we have the shorts. Well, what's considered the mains. It's a variety of the shorts and longs, but just all the favorites. So, what do you think about this track?
I really like this course. It's a good mix of kind of semi-wooded, kind of gap hitting, and nice open shots. Kind of lets you just throw it a little bit more than a lot of other courses in the area, but still pretty scoreable. So it's a good time out here.
All right, and we have flyovers for you here. So why don't you introduce this one, Ben?
Yep, hole 1, we've got 318 feet, par 3, plays slightly uphill. There's a couple different lines you can take. Most people are either going to be going straight up the gut, or there's kind of a sneaky hyzer line that'll put you around circle's edge.
Very nice. And one thing, while we have a local pro, Josh Minnie, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Minnie. He is playing against himself here today, so we actually have a card of 5. This is a fully stocked event, 5 people per card, just like we had at Bradley. So we'll have him poke his head in every once in a while here on the coverage. But starting us off here will actually be Jared. He's the very first MA1 player of the day. He's taking that
he's taking that wide hyzer line. Just need to sneak in front of that tree, and that's very well done. Going to be, right around 25 feet, it looks like.
Yeah, and Josh showed everyone how to throw the straight line at it, so we'll see what Carson ends up doing.
Yep. We got a couple of young guns on the card. Carson and Dane both, in high school, just, being really good at disc golf. Yeah. Making me jealous.
Getting invites to Junior Worlds, I think the both of them, so they'll be competing for that title here.
And that's so nice. He's going, like, mid-range, it looks like, on that shot.
Yeah.
Just nice and wide and stable. I'm, again, the lone lefty on the card as usual, so I get the slightly more technical, I think I'm going for the turnover here, kind of through that same hyzer gap, but I go back and forth between the straight shot and the turnover. Nice. Just kind of what I'm feeling.
Yeah, we'll get a good variety here. I like the technicality that being a lefty requires on most of these courses, too, so you tend to throw a good shot. And that's pretty decent right at circle's edge.
Yeah, a little outside circle. Definitely makeable. And we've got Dane again returning from our Bradley coverage.
Yes.
And he's taking that hyzer line as well. I guess it makes sense. Kind of the bigger arms, it's just so easy to kind of swing it out there. And that'll be really nice.
Counter skip, but yeah. Good result.
Yeah, I got caught up a little bit, so I think this is just outside circle, it looks like. Yeah, I got my C2 putter. It would have been a good way to start the day, but can't quite connect on it.
Yeah, I actually like this hole for the starting hole because it gives you a little bit of safety at the green. Obviously, if you're not clean off the tee, you'll get punished for it, but great putt.
There's a nice putt from Jared. Yeah. Bouncing back from kind of what we saw a little bit at the Bradley coverage from Jared.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Definitely, yeah.
And great reminder, he was there on the coverage for
round 1. Yep.
Very good.
A nice cleanup from Dane as well there.
All right.
And let's see, there's Josh, who upgraded from being my caddy at Bradley to making his own money in McNaughton.
There you go.
There you go. Nice putt. And Carson's nice and close as well. So it's going to be just me messing up the star frame already.
Nah, it's all right. Don't take that pressure on yourself.
Oh, yeah. It's always going to be there. You just gotta roll with it.
Oh, fine. Well, good cleanup here. So as Ben meanders up to tap out, I will introduce the first and one of our foremost sponsors of the tour itself, Power Grip. They are a fantastic store with representation in Europe primarily, but also in Bloomington, Illinois. They have a brick and mortar store over there. Great group of people putting down a lot for this tour. So very grateful for them. Check them out online and in person. We've got hole 2, Ben.
Yeah, hole 2, 276 feet, par 3, playing very downhill. Most players are going to be kind of throwing something overstable putter or mid, most likely. Just hang it out wide, swing it into the basket. Try to get it to sit is the tough part.
Yeah, and actually the key element here is the elevation change. So where we had kind of an uphill shot for hole 1, this one's really downhill.
It's very downhill.
You have to like cut the crest of the hill and not have something that kind of fades off and moves any sideways direction. So, ooh, Jared.
Yeah, Jared putting it just a little bit low out of his hand.
That's the height that you want, but not the hyzer that he put it on.
Exactly,
so,
yeah. If he throws that flat out of his hand, it'll be money.
Yeah, absolutely. See if Carson can follow suit.
That looks nicer. Needs to sit right there. Ah, yeah, gets the little hop.
Yeah.
So he'll be edge of circle, it looks like, but yeah. You want to be putting this one pretty close for most of us.
Absolutely. And I think the line is with the putter, and I think a lot of these guys end up throwing some overstable approach disc.
Yeah.
So it does have a little bit of ground play. It's hard to trust those putters, especially if they can get finicky with what I think is a headwind usually on this hole.
We usually get headwind here, yeah. And this day wasn't particularly breezy. Oh boy. That is overturned and heading towards one's basket.
But that's what the righties are afraid of on the backhand, too, is maybe overturning something and it just goes down way too far to the right. So.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not ideal. And then definitely want to put the approach close, and I didn't. That's going to be edge of circle coming back for my par, which is not exactly where I want to be on hole 2.
You're just giving yourself confidence punt chances.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. Oh, that's a nice out from Jared. You can get into some trouble back there. It looks like he wasn't too deep, but well done.
And when you're on the high side of the basket, too, it's best to just kind of lay it up, take your lumps. And
Dane had a really tricky lie back there. One foot up on the bridge, one down in the shul a little bit.
Yeah. Ben, can you do it?
Let's see. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Like I said, a confidence putt.
A confidence putt.
Yeah.
I'd rather have it for birdie than for par, but I'll take it in the basket either way.
Yeah, there's always a stroke to save before the basket, disc is in the basket.
Oh, yeah.
Carson,
that's a nice putt from Carson. His putting, just his all-around game is so solid. I feel like every time I play with him, he's hardly ever missing a gap. He's hardly ever missing putts. It's just, yeah. That's why he's won so many tournaments around here, it feels like.
Yeah, I need to start paying attention to his record and his success here in the future. Huge shout out to our secondary sponsor, Prodigy Discs. They've equipped the tour with pretty much a player's pack item for every single event. So thanks to Will Schustrick and the team out there. We have hole 3. I'm going to introduce this one since I'm on a roll, but this is from the shorts, kind of a turnover line for the righty backhand. Lefty, it might be either a turnover forehand or just a flip
pushing hyzer,
pushing hyzer. You're going to have things filtered down to the right-hand side of the basket or kind of push straight into the roughage or maybe get caught up early.
Yeah.
That's the one thing you need to miss. So.
Yep, if you get around that corner, then yeah, you'll have an easy par, most likely.
You go and jinx Carson saying he's hitting gaps and then he hits first available.
Oh, and Jared's out a little early.
Yeah, it looked like it left his hand too early.
Yeah, that'll be an easy par, though. Pretty simple up and down from there. Dane taking the forehand. I like this line. It makes it easier to get an kind of edge of circle putt. A little harder to park it, in my opinion.
I agree.
Although that is about as good as you can do it on that line. That'll be a 15, 20-footer.
Yep.
And I'm trying to just follow his vapor trails on this one.
Let's see if you can. Oh.
Yanked a little bit.
Yeah, that's what ends up happening.
And that gets caught up. But, again, like, I get a look for birdie from C2 and easy par.
Yeah, and I mean, with that specific kind of line, it's good to just let the disc, even if it is short and right. You have the uphill putt at it too, right? So it's pretty safe.
Yeah, although this green does get a little scary. You got all these roots. You see a bunch of rollaways all the time. So it's definitely not one that you're super comfortable with coming in like this. Okay, but you can see the potential for a roll there.
Absolutely.
It gets sketchy pretty quick. All right, I just made a C2 putt on the last hole. Can I do it again? That's the real question.
Do it?
No.
Were you thinking about the green?
I don't think I was. I hope I wasn't. I shouldn't be from there, but...
Sure.
Oh, well.
We'll clean up.
Oh. Yeah, yeah. That's frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough on the straddle putt. He doesn't really... Personally, for my version of the straddle putt, it's a lot of getting the legs into the putt to get the putter just moving.
Right.
And he doesn't really do too much with the legs. I feel like I've talked to him about it a little bit before. He doesn't like listening to me, but that's my recommendation for you, Jared.
Oh, keep wearing him down. Maybe eventually he'll learn. But not to also browse over a good birdie putt cleanup from Dane. But also Carson did that was a 120-foot
jump putt from there.
That was pretty solid.
Yeah.
So enjoy seeing that. That's It's good work there, and Jared sadly gets a bogey for the round, putting him back to even. But Carson and Dane, our young guns, are shooting pretty good here.
Starting off hot.
Yeah. Thanks to OTB, similar category to Prodigy, our online premier retailer. So go check them out online. They've got a great disc selection, including a lot of our sponsors' plastic. So hole 4, Ben, what we got?
Hole 4, we got par 3, 360 feet, playing, again, pretty far downhill. You've got this main gap that the drone is flying through here, and the main objective is miss this low hanging branches. And if you can do that, you should be able to get yourself a putt. It's a gap to hit off the tee, and then keep it low, keep it out of the rough, and you should be okay.
Yeah,
I got some people eyeing up the drone over there.
I know. Not a lot of people are familiar with people flying drones through the disc golf courses, but I'm hoping to eliminate that stigma. Dane challenging the ceiling here.
There's the ceiling coming into play. He's going mid-range, which usually you see mid-range or fairway driver on this hole. Yeah. Personally, I like the fairway a little more just because you don't have to hang it out quite as high.
Right. That's what I was going to say. For my play, Carson does leave us a little inside, but that's kind of what you're looking on.
I think he's going mid-range as well as some sort of buzz, and wow. That's sneaky. He knows he got away with something a little bit there, but that's really well done.
Yeah. So I like what I think you're trying to do here. Let's see if you do it.
Oh, boy. Oh. That is not how you throw a forehand, folks. Yeah, I'm trying to just pump that just flat out of my hand and just get, excuse me, just hyzer in front of the kind of the main tree. Basically what Jared's doing here, but with a little bit more glide to it.
Exactly. And I think Jared throws what I would consider a typical line. It's more of a overstable fairway driver, pumped low, let the overstability kind of raise the nose, let it flare skip and get closer to the basket. I think it opens up the gap the most.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, man, that was a nice turnover shot.
Yeah, after a poor forehand off the tee, a nice little scramble to give myself a putt for par at least.
Okay.
Still not exactly what I'm looking for on this hole, but I guess I'll have to take it.
Well, just clean up the pars when you can if you're not there for birdie.
Exactly. Good approach from Dane. Just a nice little jump putt.
Yep.
Nothing too much doing there. Jared with a long bid.
See if he gets those legs going.
I can't quite. That's a decent effort from, what, about 60 feet there, it looked like?
Yeah, and I mean, to do a no-leg straddle, I mean, that's good power, good snap, good commitment.
Yep. And I was just outside circle there. Couldn't quite get it, unfortunately.
It's all right.
Yeah.
We got a lot of people very close to the basket here, so... Oh, right side.
Nice, yeah, good little pro side catch for Jared. Again, that's not exactly a confidence builder that you're looking for early in the round, but a made putt is a made putt. And this is a ridiculous drive from Carson.
Yeah.
That is how you do it. I think he's throwing like a buzz or some sort of straight mid on that shot.
Man,
yeah.
That is very... I would consider that elite. That's fun.
Yep.
I could never throw that line, but...
Yeah, you could.
Okay, fine.
Come on,
maybe.
don't
After
get down
lots
on
of
yourself.
training, okay. All right, Carson leading us off with the 3 down. And shouting out another local shop. We've got Underdog Sports. They've got all of the used equipment you could possibly imagine for every sport out there. And they have a new disc golf selection, too. So always check them out. In Springfield and Peoria. As we move into hole 5, a 258-foot par 3. We flew from the long pad, but it was right there in front of that fallen tree. You're just trying to throw something straight, and then the right to left slope of this green, you want like a putter most likely, just to kind of elevate her and land softly down onto the green.
Definitely plays nice for a putter mid-range.
Yeah, and Carson
just kind of like that.
Yeah.
Wow, I think that's pretty much the same disc he was throwing on the previous hole. That's really well done.
Yeah. I like the vantage I got here from this.
Oh, yeah, you're standing up on the tree there.
Exercising the insurance for the event.
Yep. Dane couldn't quite get his high enough, so he'll have a edge of circle putt looking kind of down at the basket. A little bit scary up there, and that's a good kick for Jared, but definitely a little shanked out of his hand.
Yeah, we don't even talk about going over there for the most part, so he would have had an interesting scramble, but he's... now just with a straddle from those trees, a little pitch up, and maybe
this,
no chance.
This is not the intended lefty line. It'll work. I get through the kind of lucky inside gap, but I'm trying to take the same line as the righty hyzers are taking, just straight with turning at the end.
Gotcha.
Jared from C2, yeah, he's not quite driving it the way he wants to, but pars are okay out here.
Yeah, I'll take that lucky break and just, the disc doesn't lie, so let it give you the par and...
Wow.
All good. So Dane, great
That's such a nice putt from Dane from, looks like about 40 feet or so, just right in the heart. That's what you like to see. And I've got another C2 bid from down on the bridge, looking uphill a little bit. See what happens. Nah, just couldn't get it there. Yeah, and that's a frustrating one. Not what you're looking for.
Well, if there's anything to take away from this, Ben, I think you should be trying those circle 2
Yeah.
edger putts there. Really get consistent with those.
Yeah, you're probably right on that. That's yeah, nice birdie from Carson.
Wow. Yep, well done.
That's a couple not trivial birdies he's gotten in a row. And Josh tapping out for, we don't even need to know what he's tapping out for.
I'm assuming a birdie, man.
Let's call it a birdie.
He's
Why
pretty
not?
solid. Well,
There you
look at
go.
his demeanor. We'll guess.
Yeah, I think he did pick up his putting putter, so might have been a 3 there, but
Fair enough.
we love you anyway, Josh.
Yeah. Double Eagle Disc Golf. You know, very interesting group of guys coming to us from Bradenton, Florida, wanting to sponsor events up here in Central Illinois. Who knew? Check them out online. Hole 6. What do we got?
Yeah, hole 6, we got 207 feet flying over the short pad right now.
Yep.
Pretty tight gap, but righties are looking to just kind of play a similar approach disc, putter, or mid-range, just out through this wide gap that the drone is flying, hyzer in towards the bucket.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward. Plays uphill, so
yeah.
that's the kind of tricky part.
So it's making sure they get the nose angle right, and then also get your release angle right too. So
Yeah.
that was good and flat with the overstable. It's going to hyzer into the biggest gap, and yeah, that's going to be 15 feet.
Yeah, it looks like he's a little bit deep there, but definitely a very makeable putt.
Yeah.
Dane trying the same line, but leaves it a little inside, and that is a nasty kick down to the left. That's kind of the main danger area, I would
Yes.
say, where you can kind of get in trouble and take a bogey or something silly.
When it really gets into the roughage on the left, yes.
Yeah.
If it just kind of sits a little bit to the left, you have a circle 2 uphill look, and that ricocheted off the tree to the right.
Yeah, so he'll have an easy par from there, but definitely not what he's looking for.
So given that you're doing the forehand, obviously, I think that you can manage a little bit more control, but that was...
Yeah, I should be able to have a little more control. My clearly my forehand isn't quite working yet today, so...
And as these guys pitch up, I think the real secret to this hole is actually just treating it like it's the approach shot for a par 4, right?
Yeah.
So kind of think like you're standing in the fairway, and I think a lot of people sucker themselves into having to do like a full run up, where I think every single one of these guys, including you, maybe has the potential for doing like a standstill to guarantee the accuracy, that being able to hit the gap. So that's personally what I do.
Ooh.
Oh wow!
Tried to give it a bid.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can see the logic there. Personally, I feel more comfortable with a run-up, even on those shorter shots. Like, if I have a 150-foot upshot with a putter, I like to have a run-up for it. Yeah, that's a very nice par save from Jared there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see what you mean, too.
But I definitely think that there's a potential for that, if that's the more comfortable shot for players.
Absolutely.
There you go, a little par cleanup. I'll take it. Let's see how close Carson got up there.
Yeah, he's just in that little brush pile. I think.
Oh, yeah, he'll be fine.
They use this to clear off the green here and some of the path on hole 7. And they push it up against the backside of the screen. Not a great place for it, but, I mean, there's very...
I don't mind it as a little bit of an obstacle back behind. Just kind of, give you a little bit of punishment if you go deep.
And, I mean, we're definitely not into any, let's say, crazy time frames. But Carson, I would say, is probably one of the longer... time takers on the card here. This card plays pretty quick, to be fair. Like, I'd never noticed during the round that he was taking any sort of excessive time or anything like that, so. Sure, which is not a problem. He obviously is well considered on everything he does, and he makes that putt. And also want to shout out, another sponsor alert, Great Lakes Disc, another online retailer. Most of these guys, you can check the description below. I'll have links to all of their websites down there, so check it out. Thanks to them for sponsoring the tour.
Yeah.
Hole 7, I'd say this is the one that challenges me most, and I'm most excited to get to this hole because I'm always trying to push for that 2.
I think this is my favorite hole on the course.
Definitely a par 3 for the clockwise spin. You're wanting to do kind of a flip up hyzer with some sort of distance driver like Carson's going to be throwing here.
He's going mid here.
Is he going mid?
Yeah, he throws hard. I think Jared goes mid as well. That's not what you're looking for. Yeah, it plays slightly downhill, 396, so I think it probably plays closer to like 350 or so.
Yeah, absolutely.
But definitely a tough get. This is the easiest way to attack the hole, in my opinion, with the flex forehand for the righty or the force over for the lefty. But it's hard. You got to really trust that the disc is going to hold the whole way over.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, then you kind of end up in jail a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Jared's going, I believe this is actually fairway driver. He's trying to just slide it up past this hill here.
I mean, that was the right line, the right angle. I just think the height probably could have been a little bit more to give it some more carry, but... Yeah, you're trying to work that right forehand line.
I'm trying to throw that force over. I believe my line there was, "Oh, you silly boy," followed quickly by a 4 for the the tee pad of 6 over there. As trying to throw that force over line and just throw it flat instead. So let's see, Carson trying to scramble. He got into a kind of a nasty spot after the early tree.
That's tough. Being in a position you can't see the basket too from your lie.
Oh, and Dane going over the top. That'll be edge of circle. Hopefully that big tree isn't
that big
in
tree's
the way too
in
bad.
Circle, so he should have just a little kind of stride out putt for the par.
Yeah, and I'm trying to go over the top. I think I get a lucky line there because I think I'm trying to throw it about 10 feet higher than I did, but sneak through. I'll take it.
I'd say definitely in the MA1 category, most of us, so I consider myself in that category too, we end up trying to, good run from Carson, just try to get close to the basket, and we end up going left and right, all which directions.
Yep.
So we definitely get a variety of different lies for our second shots.
That's a good bid for Jared. That's kind of what you can expect when you go the ready backhand play.
Sure.
I feel like best case scenario is kind of like a edge of circle putt, but I don't think there's quite a way to park it. That's a nice par save from Dane.
Yes, very much so. We haven't seen Carson yet. I missed it. Did he have a...
No, he had his upshot.
Oh,
this is for bogey now.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right. Well, unfortunate, man. Yeah, pretty good start to be...
Still at 4 down through 7 is a good spot to be, I would say.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would say out here, a 9 down is solid, especially on the shorts. I will say, like, while we're here cleaning up, the difference between the shorts and the main and the long out here is that you have a lot of padded par 4s on the back side of the long layout. So you'll see a lot better scores on the long layout than you will on the shorts. But shout out to NADGT. Man, I'm missing all these sponsors.
They're tough ones.
I know, right?
Tough to pronounce.
They are awesome. The National Amateur Disc Golf Tour made this event a qualifier event, so the top performers in each division are most likely getting an invite to Austin, Texas later in the year. So excited for all of them.
Super cool.
Yeah, and once again, this flyover was for the long, and we flew over the short pad, a 276-foot left to right moving par 3, slightly uphill.
Yeah, I would say even significantly uphill. Definitely reachable at 276, but you kind of have to pump something into that hillside and hope for a little hop up like Dane gets there. Yeah, that's a well-executed shot.
Yeah. It looked like he went kind of like an overstable mid-range there.
I think he's going like FX2, like kind of Firebird-ish. Okay. I think so. I could be wrong there.
Gotcha.
Jared's going mid-turnover, which is... It's a tough play, I would say. It's definitely, if you have this kind of forehand or lefty hyzer shot, it's the easier shot to execute.
Yeah, it opens up the gap and you don't have to rely on disc stability to put you in the right spot. And that was good. Good placement right there.
Yeah, it's my old baby.
Yeah.
Don't know what I'd do without that disc. And Carson going the same mid-range doesn't quite get over on it, though.
Yeah, gotcha.
And that'll be an easy par, but definitely looking to attack this one for birdie, ideally.
You know what? You mentioned just having a go-to disc in your bag. Everyone comment down below. What's your go-to disc that you'll be remorsed if it left your bag? Carson just kind of laying down in the field with a missed approach. But yeah, let us know in the comments. Also, like and subscribe, guys. Appreciate you guys coming out here to watch what's now great disc golf. We got a couple birdie chances here. Great.
Yeah, that was a nice... I didn't realize Jared snuck through that far. That's a nice birdie from him. It's a tough, like we said, tough righty line. And I've got a nice birdie putt. Sneak it in there. It didn't feel like I quite had the confidence to zing it as much as I'd like to there, but we'll take it. Excuse me. And a birdie putt for Dane as well.
Yeah.
Should be good for this, about 15 feet.
I believe so.
Oh, yeah.
He'll put himself back into contention with Carson there, too. So
gives himself a little fist bump to the caddy. You love to see that. Shout out to Jake, always on the bag for Dane.
Dane Dad Jake. Yep. Very cool. We got some tap out here for Carson.
Clean up for Carson and Josh.
Yep.
I believe that's a parked birdie for Josh. That's his FX2, so love to see that.
Awesome.
All right. Final hole of the front 9. We got hole 9, 255 feet, par 3. Playing just so slightly downhill. You've got a lot of hard pan by the basket, so kind of expect some ground play. Right to left moving shot. Most players are throwing putter or mid-range that's kind of slightly overstable. A really similar kind of disc to what we've been throwing on a couple of these holes with that overstable approach or mid disc.
Yeah, now that you mention it, yeah, you probably could come out here with either this slightly overstable approach / mid-range and put yourself in good positions on most holes. So.
And that looks like it was really well done from Dane. I'm a little worried about the hard pan there, kind of skipping him into the woods, but he should have a putt either way.
Yeah.
Jared hangs his a little bit wider, but that looks like it fought through and got a skip, so he should have a putt.
Yeah, I would love to have catch cam for this hole too, because I mean, you say like those are good results. Like this one might be a great result too, but
yeah, that
once
one.
In a while, you get those stand up and rolls, and then you find yourself in circle 2 in almost an impossible area.
Yeah,
there's like this little grove of bushes that really protect the green from the other side, and yeah, that's a little too much power, a little too inside.
I think Carson and I are both a little inside there, so yeah. I've got a C2 putt coming back. Carson should be a little bit closer.
Well, you got a straight shot at it too. So
that's again, can't quite connect. You're probably right. I do need to work on the C2 putts. Dane, yeah, he did get a little bit of ground play, it looks like, but he's got this edge of circle. Nice. Wow, that's such a pretty putt, dude.
And that's the grove I was talking about too. Yep. So, I mean, it gets really messy, and there's a little trail on the backside of it, so your disc can easily find its way over there, and then you've got nothing. So,
yeah,
good result. I think that Carson's disc just hit and sat.
Yeah, it looked like, a little bit inside, but kind of got a forward pushing skip and, a good settle there. So he's got a 15, 20-footer for birdie?
I believe so.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, birdie. There it goes.
Yeah. Yep. Very good.
And Jared should have, he's a little bit more obstructed, unfortunately, but he has a putt as well for bird. Let's see, definitely that branch kind of coming into play. Testing his swing.
Yeah, it's always those 45-degree ones. They always find a way into your...
but that's a nice space. Putt.
Yep, absolutely.
And solid front nine. I mean, Carson and Dane both at 5 down. That's a really good score. It definitely gets a little bit harder on the back nine, but it's a good place to be.
Agreed. So they're looking to kind of hold on to that, maybe get a couple strokes here and there on some of the easier parts of the back nine. So yeah, and a little par cleanup. Then you got a little bit of work to do, but I think it's possible.
It's possible, but it's not. I need to definitely turn the game around a little bit if I'm gonna want to compete with these guys. Absolutely. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and that is the front nine for the Mayhem at McNasty. So Ben, thanks again for coming and doing some commentary with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, and so we will bring the back nine to you guys here shortly. Stay tuned. And like I said before, you guys' viewership is very important. I am so grateful for being able to bring about this this coverage for you, and I really hope that if you guys have any helpful comments or any feedback you want to provide, let me know. Shoot me a message, put it down there at the bottom. Appreciate you guys so much. So that is Mayhem at McNasty. We'll see you guys on the back.
All right.